All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are going to do a presentation on how to reach your full potential in 2023. It's going to be an exciting year coming up. I know everyone is pumped. I know I am for sure. So we are going to rock and roll tonight, and we are going to go over what you can do going into this next year. As I get everything ready here. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. Let me know if you can. Can you guys see that all right? Okay, awesome. Okay, now really fast. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, here we go, everybody. All right, like I said, welcome. My name is Laura Sigworth, and I am going to be hosting tonight. I'm super excited to have you. Hopefully everybody had a great Christmas, and we are going to talk with you about how to reach your full potential going into 2023. Because, I mean, let's admit this last year's kind of been a little tough for a lot of folks. So it just feels there's just something amazing about starting off a new year, having that refreshing feeling. But then it can kind of be hard to know what the exact steps are. Like, how can you reach that? There's just so many different things out there floating around between different planners, different websites, different apps. And it's just it can kind of be overwhelming. So what we're going to do is introduce you to our Optavia community tonight, and what it is that we do as health coaches, how we help take folks under our wings, how we partner with them and help them walk through to be able to change their life. So what our role is, honestly, I say, I'm a health coach. Okay. And I always say that I feel like coach is kind of a fancy word for a friend, because I basically have changed my life. And because of that, I want to be able to pay it forward to help change other lives. But really what that means is I just want to be people's friend and help them too, because that's what happened with me. And so that's what our role is to just go hip to hip with you, and change your life. But yet we're real people too, we're still enhancing ourselves. So that's what our mission is overall. But as we do that, we work on three big components in your life. Okay. We work on healthy body, we work on healthy mindset, and healthy finances. Okay. And so healthy body, when I say that, what I mean by that is just, are you at a healthy weight? Maybe you're trying to work on a fitness goal right now. Maybe you're trying to work on exercise. Maybe you're just trying to eat better, just feel better. A lot of people that come to us, they just want to feel better. They're like, yeah, I just feel like crap. I've got no energy. I've got kids. I've got grandkids. I'm working like crazy. Our society today is just so busy. So people are just struggling just to feel good. But healthy body, the goals are different for everybody. Okay. So then we've got healthy mindset, which is more of, a lot of people are they're in a rut, or they're struggling with depression. They're struggling with anxiety. They're just not happy. They're like, where am I going with my life? They just want to be able to feel better about things mentally, on a mental standpoint. Maybe they're not happy with their job. Maybe the relationships aren't the best. They're just wanting to enhance their life from a mental standpoint. And then healthy finances, a lot of people are like, healthy finances, what? Where that comes in plays, that can really affect people on all levels, because, if you're struggling with debt, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, just trying to pay the bills, it can create a stress with you that can affect your mental health, then which can affect your physical health. You know what I mean? So I know the old me used to be stressed out. Man, my emotional eating was terrible. And then I was gaining weight. And then it's all three of these components are connected with each other. So what we do as a coach is we review all of them to see, okay, where are you at in all of your life? And then how can we help walk you through? So how that looks is we have 4 components that make up our program, our Optavia program. Okay. And they're each just as important as the other. I know whenever I started my journey, or back in the day, which I'll share more of that in a second, I just thought getting healthy meant dieting, killing myself in the gym. I really didn't think of anything else besides that, which I was feeling at both those things miserably. But it really does take different components to help kind of pick you up and carry you through to make those changes. So the 4 components are having a health coach. Okay. Then you have our habits of health system, which is like the educational part. And we have an amazing community to help uplift you. And then we have our healthy fuelings, which is basically part of our healthy meal plan. Okay. Because when it comes to getting healthy, whether it's physical, mental, and just being in a good place, nutrition is like the core, believe it or not, is like it's 80% of the process. Okay. And I would have never thought that either. But we are all proof of that with getting healthier. Okay. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to take you through each 4 of these components, kind of explaining what they are and why and the importance behind them. And then how they can help you. And then we have some amazing stories to go along with it. Okay. So power of a health coach. Okay. Accountability is huge. So for me, that was a big deal. Accountability. I never really had that, so like for me, I'd set up my diet every Monday. Can anybody relate to that? I set it up. I was always a good Monday dieter. You know what I mean? Like Sunday night would come, I'd be bloated from a fun weekend. And then a Monday would come and I don't know, usually by Monday night, I was already off the bandwagon, but I never had that accountability. I never had that connection with someone to really help me, like a best friend, someone who had been down the path before me. I had struggles. We all have struggles. Okay. Life isn't pretty unicorns and rainbows every day. We've got work and kids and life and so we're going to stumble. So it feels nice to have that person by your side that's going to be there for you no matter what. That person is also going to celebrate the wins with you. Okay. Like that feels good. It feels good to like shoot someone a text and be like, oh my gosh, I'm in a smaller pant size, or, oh my gosh, I was able to do this with my kids today. It just feels good to be able to celebrate those wins with someone. And then what's amazing about your coach is that your coach is with you. Like the second you commit to them, they're with you for the rest of your life. Okay. Which is so cool. And unlike a lot of things. So, here's a little bit more about my story. This is my life right here. I have 4 little ones. I've got 3 boys, Darian, Dominic, and Daniel, all D's. And then there's little Elsie. So, my life, you can imagine, is full of chaos and beautiful chaos, as I should say. And down here, that was us in Gatlinburg, Alexi just said that, but that picture of us hiking was there. We were just talking about that, but I love being an active mom. I'm very, very passionate about coaching. It's just super important to me. This program, yes, it changed my life, but more importantly, it changed my life from a physical standpoint, but more so, I think, from a mental and happiness standpoint. But there on the left was me back in 2011. I've lost 50 pounds with the program, and I've kept it off ever since. And even with the 4 kiddos, back in that picture, I was an engineer. I was working 60 hours a week. I had a commute back and forth, long days, late nights, lots of stress from my work. And let's just say, a lot of my, I was an emotional eater, you know what I mean? I didn't handle stress very well. So a lot of nights I was grabbing takeout. I would grab a bottle of wine at a gas station on my way home, and I'd pop on the couch and I'd stuff my face with whatever I grabbed, down a bottle of wine. And that was it, and rinse and repeat. And, but in between, like I said, I try to do diets. I try to do different things, I Google something. I think there's a hot dog diet out there and just all kinds of different stuff. So, I just wasn't doing very well. And I had seen a picture of myself. I don't know if any of you have experienced that, when someone else took a picture of you when you didn't know, and then you saw it, and you're like, wow, okay. And I thought I'd look really cute in that shirt, but not so much. So I needed something different. And so my cousin was a coach, and I was like, okay, this is a little different. I haven't ever had a coach. That's kind of fancy. And but she could be here for me. And so she did. She went hip to hip with me. She laid out everything for me. She guided me along the entire way. I dropped 40 pounds in 3 months. Results not typical, but I was focused, and that was just nutrition, you all. I didn't even walk into the gym for a second, and she helped me focus on my nutrition. She helped me focus on my mindset, which I'm going to go into next. And this picture on the right was just taken about a week ago. So I am super proud of myself, because not only did I lose the weight, but like I've been able to change all my habits, been able to enhance myself as a mom, which is like working on that healthy mindset we talked about. And I've also been coaching for over 10 years now, which has been a big deal for me from a financial standpoint too, but just to have a healthy life and a healthy, just have it all surround me is a big deal compared to the engineering days when I was like really, really struggling, not only physically, but very much mentally. So when I took this first step, I would have never known what was on the other side of my yes. Like I would have never known my full potential. I couldn't even see it until my coach guided me down that path. So the second component that helps all of this is the educational part. And that's called our Habits of Health system. Okay. And our Habits of Health system is a book. It's actually right here. And then we have a workbook that goes along with it, which when I got this, I was like, what? I got to work on homework? You crazy? I can barely make it through the day. But it only took about 5-10 minutes a day. And it changed everything. I had no idea that like sleep mattered. I had no idea that my water intake mattered. The most water I was drinking back then was what I brushed my teeth with, you know? There was just so many different components. But again, it goes back to that overwhelming feeling, right? Because you think, I can barely make it through the day, like with my kids and life. How the heck am I going to like work on myself? Well, this makes it super possible because it breaks it down into bits. So next, we want to introduce our really good friend, Bob, who has an incredible story himself, a tremendous transformation, but also too how the Habits of Health system was able to help.
Thank you so much, Laura. Hey, everybody, I'm Bob. I am 55 years old, and between the ages of 17 and 53, I was a yo-yo dieter. Once I passed the 200 mark at about probably age 18, I never saw that again. I never saw that again until about a year and a half ago when that happened for me. In my high weight, I made it all the way up to a grand 272 pounds. I usually hung around 240, 245 is kind of where my body liked to be. Did a number of diets over the years, had a little bit of success, was never happy, was never fun. I just can't be hungry all the time. And every diet I was on, I was hungry all the time. And that's just no fun. It's not emotionally sustainable for me. Back in 2016, I decided I was going to exercise myself to a healthy weight. So I actually did an Ironman back in 2016. I got down around 215, I think was my Ironman race, and probably started putting weight on the day after Ironman. About 5 years ago, I discovered this company, and I had a wedding coming up for my daughter. And I did, it was a weight loss event, right? So I lost weight for the wedding. I got down around 200 pounds, but not quite there. And I literally started putting weight back on at the reception because I didn't do the Habits of Health transformational system. I kind of grabbed a diet and I related to this as a diet. I bought a new suit for that wedding, which was really great. And I got to wear that suit 2 times after the wedding. After 2 times, the suit didn't fit anymore. So when I say I started putting the weight back on, I started putting weight back on. I did not do the Habits of Health transformational system. I didn't do the program. I just kind of did the one portion, which was the food portion. And so I wasn't approaching this as a lifestyle. I was approaching it as a diet for a specific weight loss event. That was 5 years ago. So right after the wedding, of course, I put the weight back on. About 2 years ago, I was tired of it and I was ready. And I'm like, I know that thing works. I didn't really do it right. I didn't really launch into it. I didn't read the book. And I know it works, but I'm gonna go back to that Optavia thing. So I went back to the Optavia thing, started having great results and started losing weight. And when I started losing weight, something happened to me that I did not expect. I actually started to have anxiety about my weight loss. And as I kind of dove into myself internally and said, what's that about? Here's what was going on. I was going to lose weight on Optavia. And then I was afraid that as soon as I hit my weight goal, I would go back to my old lifestyle and put the weight back on. And I was afraid that I would be embarrassed because people would see that. They'd see me lose the weight. They'd come and pat me on the back. And then they would see me put the weight back on. And it's just like embarrassing. Like, what does that say about me? It says that I can't manage myself. I don't respect myself. I don't love myself. And it was just this emotional thing that I felt like I had dealt with really for like the past 30, almost 40 years. And I was like, I'm just so tired of this feeling and how I feel about myself, my optics, how I present, how I look, how I feel, how I think about myself. And so at this point, my coach sat me down and said, you're not reading the book. You're not doing the system. You're doing a diet. You're not doing a lifestyle. You're not really connecting with what it is that we have to offer in Optavia. And so she guided me into the book. And then I started to read the book. It's like an explosion went off in my head. And I began to understand the system. And I began to understand what it is that we're actually doing here in Optavia. In this program, Dr. Anderson, the creator of our program, he talks about this experience called the awakening, where he wants to awaken you to your whole self, your total self, your finances, your health, your wellness, your movement, and your emotions. And as you start to take this journey with Dr. Anderson, as you get into the book that Laura held up, and I'm telling you, I am a believer in the book, I'm a believer in the whole system. As you start to do this, there's this emotional awakening that took place inside myself. And I begin to understand I wasn't struggling with my weight because I was eating too much. I was having stuff going on in my head that was causing me to use food as a soothing mechanism and as a way to manage myself. So you see, the food wasn't really the problem. There was a deeper problem that this program helped me to discover. The way I talk with clients about it today is I say Optavia is going to help you lose weight in your butt and in your gut, but also between your ears. And it's the stuff between your ears that for me was the most important piece of all. And when I came back to the program the second time and actually did the whole program, read the book, did the time, did the life book, did the internal work, I want to tell you, I was awakened and it has absolutely changed my life. I have emotion as I'm describing this to you because this program has absolutely changed my life. And as you approach this as a lifestyle, it will change not only your optics, not the way you look, the way you feel. There's more important stuff that will happen in your heart and in your life and in your relationships and in your mindset and in the outlook of how it is that you do your life. And you begin to realize at some point that internal growth that you have as a person is the most important thing of all. And that one of the side effects of that is you're going to lose weight and you're going to look great. And that's wonderful, right? That's what I started for. But Optavia brought so much more into my life than what I realized was going to take place in my life. So I started my program, about 2 years ago. I've lost 65 pounds. I've got the weight off. I have kept the weight off. And guess what? I don't have anxiety anymore. I'm not putting the weight back on. I am an Optavian. I am an Optavian for life. And I get it. This thing is clicked in my head and I get it. And I just love this journey. And I love sharing this journey with other people.
I love that. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. I got emotional too whenever you were saying how much it's changed you because you're right. I mean, the physical part is great. Sure, we all look great. We feel great, but it's crazy how it changes us so much on the inside. And I tell folks, I feel like I lost 50 pounds more mentally because I was so trapped behind this like low self-esteem, low confidence. I didn't have any hope on how to get in a better place. And I just felt like I was in this prison for myself. And so to finally reach your goal, but go beyond that and just wake up every day feeling full and embracing your new life. I mean, it's incredible and it's unlike anything else. So I appreciate you sharing that because but it's doing all of it. It's diving all in. So when you commit to something like this, you're committing to changing your life, not just dieting, not just, getting into that, getting in that bikini this summer. It's like changing your life, and you have to be committed and all in. So thank you, Bob, so much. Your story is amazing. So appreciate it. So the next part of it too is community, which I think is a huge part of this, because I feel like it's the glue that holds everything together. When I say community, I mean just the bigger picture of it, the new friendships that you have. I mean, you have a new friend with your coach, and then your new coach plugs you into, there's different Facebook groups. There's like tonight, we're all on this together, we have different webinars each week. We have different gatherings all over the place. I'm here in Jefferson City, Missouri. We're always doing different things, different dinners and gatherings and hikes and different stuff like that. I know there's other coaches on here that they do different events in their area. We've got podcasts. We have a YouTube channel. We have a newsletter every week. It's just all kinds of different things, whatever suits your style. And that's what I loved about it, because everybody's different. There's a lot of people that are very self-motivated, but there's people that they need to get their hands on everything in order to help keep themselves moving forward. But with this community, it's strong, because again, we're all normal people. We're all like parents, grandparents, there's people who have lost their loved ones. I mean, we've got kids, we've got fur babies. I mean, we're all just trying to get through this crazy life together, but yet we're all on the same path of trying to enhance ourselves, but yet support one another. So I would love one of my best friends, Heather Shaw. She's amazing. I would love for her to share her story and how our community really helped change her life, on a bigger level.
Well, thank you. Okay. Community is probably one of I think all four of the components are my favorite, but I love this one the most, because if you think about a time in your life where you went to go make a change, it could be in your health, it could be in a career, it could be any kind of change you make. It's hard, right? It's pretty tricky to make a change. Or like Bob was talking about, the 6 inches between the ears does not like to change very quickly. And so it's imperative to have like-minded people in your corner, even beyond the health coach, other people who are traveling the similar journey that you are. And that really makes it a lot easier. So I love this piece. But if you rewind, and I'll kind of share how the community helped me. 11 years ago, I was a stressed out mom of 5. I still am a mom of 5. Those are my kids just a couple nights ago on Christmas Eve. But rewind 11 years ago, they were all a lot younger. My youngest was just going into kindergarten. My oldest was 12 years old. And I was stressed out, overwhelmed. I've always been into health and fitness, so I actually wasn't looking for something for my physical health. But that goes to show you how much those other 2 areas of the circle that Laura was talking about, the healthy mind and the healthy finances, actually does impact our health so negatively if we're not doing well in those areas. So if you rewind 11 years ago, I was stressed out. We were living paycheck to paycheck. We were in debt up to our eyeballs. We were losing our home. It was during our recession back then, the 2008 crash. And I married my best friend, but we never got to see each other. My husband was working 2-3 jobs, just trying to make us, just make ends meet. And we had doing everything we could to provide a life and not let our kids in on how bleak it was. We were losing sleep. My health was actually deteriorating more than I realized. I actually developed Graves' disease, which we don't know. There's some hereditary, it's a thyroid issue. I had to have my thyroid removed. But the more I researched it, I found out that it's stress, major life changes, things like that can actually affect our thyroid, which I now look back and go, oh my gosh. So on the outside, yes, I exercised, I ate right, I did all those things, but it was actually that financial strain was affecting me far more than I realized. So I was fortunate enough, though, 11 years ago to have a really good friend who shared the program with me. She actually shared it from the coaching standpoint. So she just said, you should look at, actually, it was actually my dad who talked with her and then connected us, but she said, you should look into this because coaching actually, it really helps people of all ranges. And it's something you could do as a coach and help your healthy finances, start maybe making some income while you were still at home with the little kids, and it was flexible. And I thought, oh gosh, well, I actually, to be honest, I actually kind of thought, oh, these work from home things, that's a scam. I'm not gonna, I didn't call her back for like 3 weeks. But then I'm like, you know what? Honestly, what do I have to lose? I love health. I love nutrition. My dad wants to get healthy. I'm going to give it a shot. And so I came into this community to become a coach. I hopped on the program. I was in a healthy weight range, but I never thought I could get back to my like college days of before 5 kids. I lost 13 pounds in 5 weeks. Never felt better. I'm like, oh my gosh, I kind of just chalked up being tired and grouchy and just kind of surviving to having 5 kids. I'm like, well, I'm doing good for 5 kids. No, when our body runs at optimal, we can do so much better. I had just gotten used to being tired. So anyway, fast forward, so I came into the community, I fell in love with the program. I watched my dad, results not typical, but help my dad reverse his diabetes in 6 weeks. He's now celebrating 11 years, diabetes free, no results, not typical. Again, we have a compliance statement on that, but, I fell in love with the program, but more importantly, I fell in love with the community. I thought I was coming into this to make some income, and yes, income I did make it. And in fact, it completely changed our family and the trajectory of where we're at. 11 years later, this is what my husband and I do for a living. But I had no idea what kind of community I was coming into. Often we talk about coaching as, it's a personal development program with a compensation plan. So it actually, as a coach, we work on ourselves, our own health first, physically, mentally, financially, and then in turn, we can then, while we're getting healthy in those areas, help others. And I just love who I've become, the community of like-minded people. I remember saying, I don't know if I would stick with this if I wasn't a coach in this community. And I've now gone on to help, thousands of clients over the last 11 years. And that community piece is huge. So, if this sounds like something that you want to take a look into and you want to, you do decide to start, really don't look over this third component of community. Dive into it. The more you do, the easier the journey will be, more rewarding. And in turn, actually what happens for most of my clients is they create this local community because they're getting healthy physically. And so many people out there need us and they see that change. And then they attract people who want to change. And a lot of times clients become coaches or they're referring people, their people in their world are getting healthy. So I love that piece. Thank you, Laura, for asking me to share on it, and it's just changed our life.
I love it. I love it so much. I love what you said about it being a personal development program, because I've said that too. It's like a personal development program with like a side effect of weight loss, like it's pretty cool. So, but no, thank you very much. And I do love our community. I mean, all my closest friends now are because I said yes to this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just, and when I changed who I surrounded myself with, it made a big difference because it made it easier. It's like, oh man, I used to think this was so tough, but it's easy now. I've got great support, and it's just, it puts it at a whole different level. So, I appreciate you taking time to share your story, because it's a big one. And your family's just amazing. So, okay, so the fourth and final component, which is extremely important, because like I said, nutrition, it's crazy how nutrition plays a big role in everything. Because 80% of what we put into our gut fuels our brain cells. Okay. So if we're eating good and we're eating clean, eating good stuff, it's crazy how like your mindset, your happiness, everything starts to change, because when I was engineering, like I said, it used to be super stressful. But then there'd be days where I'm like, wow, I'm kind of like happy and stuff. Like, who is it? It was just naturally happening. And then, the rest of the components were making a big difference too. So what we preach with our program is to fuel your body. Okay. So instead of kind of kick the diet mindset out the door. Okay. calorie counting and all that jazz, that can be super overwhelming. Just think, I need to fuel my body. I need to nourish it. I need to take care of this. I just need to take care of myself. And when you fuel your body, kind of think of your body like a fire pit. I love to go camping. It's so fun, right? So think of your body like a fire pit. In order to keep that fire going at the campsite, you have to keep putting wood in the fire, right? Well, eventually, while you're sitting there, the fire kind of starts to die down, but you have to keep putting more wood in it to keep it going. Well, that's how your body works, okay? And that's how your metabolism works. In order to keep that fire alive, in order for it to like give you the energy and burn that fat, you have to keep putting wood in the fire. But it just can't be any wood. It's got to be the right kind of nutrition, okay? You can't just be eating potato chips, candy bars every 2 to 3 hours. It doesn't work like that. But it has to be good, clean nutrition, which again, can be overwhelming because it's like, well, what the heck do I eat? How, because you need to be fueling every 2 to 3 hours, which is eating 6 healthy meals per day, which when my coach mentioned that to me, I was like, well, heck yes, I love eating. I'll eat all day. I have no problem with that. But then on the flip side, it overwhelmed me because again, I was engineering 60 hours a week. I could barely figure out what I was having for dinner every night, let alone prepping and getting everything planned out for every day, on top of having kids, on top of traveling. Like I used to travel too. I'd be in the office one day, on an airplane the next week, all the time. And that's what a lot of people are struggling with today because we've got work and kids and running here, running there, sports, all these different things going on. And it can be really overwhelming. Like, okay, well, how do I fuel 6 times a day? How does that work? So what we do with the program is depending on your goals, depending on where you're at, depending on your health background, depending on your activity level, there's a lot of parts to that. Again, that's why you have the coach, okay? Because they help lay it out just specifically for you. But what we do is we help provide some of your meals for you. We'll lay it out for you. What's that going to look like for you? What do you need help with? And that's where our fuelings come in play. And our meal plan comes into play. It's just kind of helping fit it into your life. So our next story is going to be my really good friend, Neil. He has an incredible transformation and how the fuelings have helped him as well. How our meal plan has helped him and helped make such a difference for him and his wife too. So Neil, I'm excited to hear your story, bud.
Well, thanks, Laura. Merry Christmas to everybody that has joined us tonight. So that center picture there, that guy that's on the left-hand side in that suit, that was me actually 6 years ago at our holiday dinner in Louisville, Kentucky. And shortly after that, we came home, my wife and I, we went to Branson. And actually, I found myself in the emergency room in Branson, December 23rd. So just a little more than 6 years ago. Got out of the emergency room, was a minor medical thing, but I was over 50. Doctor there said, hey, you got to go get your over 50 physical. And so I did. And at that point, I was 230 pounds, diagnosed with diabetes. Doctor says, take this medication, get some exercise, change your diet, see you in 6 months. Scared me. So I started on my health journey at that point. Over the course of about 18 months, I managed to lose 25 pounds. I got down to about 205, and then I hit a wall and I just got stuck. I tried keto, I tried paleo, I tried counting my macros with an app that I managed to do it, I think, once. I actually hit all my macros on one day. And so what Laura talked about was exactly that. It's just trying to keep track of that as you go through that. So August of 2021, I started on program. And again, results not typical. In 11 weeks, I dropped 28 pounds. I got down to 175 pounds, which was the weight that I weighed when I graduated basic training from the Army in 1987. Also, 1987 was the last time I weighed 175 pounds up until last November. So that person on the right, that's my wife, Judy. Judy and I, we're at our awards dinner again, first weekend in December, Louisville, Kentucky again. The guy on the right, he's actually smiling with joy. I've gone from a BMI of a 30 down to 24, so I'm in a healthy range. Okay, thank you for that one, Laura. So yeah, that's this is what caught me off guard. Thanks. So this is actually, we just did our 10-day challenge. So this was actually a 10-day side-by-side comparison here. And so in 10 days, I managed to continue to cut fat. So that's where I'm going with my journey now, is going from the weight loss into optimal health and actually going towards ultimate health. And so we're going for that. So what am I loving most about this program is the ability to take control of your life. What Laura talked about, what Bob talked about, what Heather talked about, all of those components come into there. And so the neat thing I love about the fuelings is when I went on program, I didn't have to count macros. I didn't have to plan out my day other than what fuelings I was going to eat for the day and what I was going to fix for a lean and green. And I in the first week, I dropped 7 pounds. And at that moment, there was a light that went on at that point, that there is something here that I have not experienced ever before in my life. And so Laura's my coach. And Laura started planting seeds early on about coaching. And about week 3, I said, Laura, I need to talk to you about this coaching thing. Because as everybody shared on here, there's an accountability level that just goes up as a coach. And I continued on through that journey, and I started helping other people. As people saw my transformation, they started asking me what I was doing and what we could do to help them. So, but the fuelings are easy, quick, grab and go. Bars, shakes, there's things that you can heat up in the microwave. It ranges anywhere you want from there. But the fuelings are, just take away the complexity of it. It's a simple program to fuel your body 6 to 7 times a day. So I don't know what else to do with that picture on the screen, Laura. Sorry.
Neil, would you mind, do you mind sharing with everyone your age?
Yeah, so I just was 50 when I went on program. I'm 50. I'm sorry, not on program. When I was diagnosed with diabetes, I'm 56. Turned 56 over the summer. And so, yeah, I'm actually setting goals for 2023, moving forward with my health to take it to the next level. I want to get my body fat down below 18% and ultimately down to 12% body fat. I'm planning on doing a Tough Mudder this year, a couple of 5Ks. And I'm getting ready to go back in the gym to start putting additional mass on while losing fat. So I don't want to lose any more body weight. I just want to lose the other 20 pounds of fat that's in my body.
Awesome. I love it. And that's what I wanted you to share, because I mean, a lot of people, they get to a certain age and they're just like, well, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm going to be. And Neil is just an incredible example of optimal health, like moving forward. And I love it. He's 56. He's getting ready to do a Tough Mudder and all these different things. And like, that's what I love about our program is, yes, it starts you at square one, but it carries you through beyond even, I mean, he's reached his goal for a while, but beyond that and taking it to the next level and like just conquering goals left and right, whatever that is. And it doesn't have to be fitness related. It can be whatever, family goals, financial goals, like this really takes you through the whole thing. So it's just incredible. So what's next? Okay. What's next? So if you're on this tonight, and I'm so sorry for running a little longer than expected. I have loved the story. So we're just, it's exciting, but what happens next? So if you're on tonight and you are thinking about 2023 and what that looks like for you, connect with who invited you. Okay. They are going to take you through your own conversation, your own health assessment, what your goals are, and then like what it looks like for you. Because again, as you heard all 4 stories tonight, we're all different. We're all come from different backgrounds. We're all at a different level in our life. So your story is specific, and your coach, your friend, wants to hear what you're striving for, okay, and what's important to you. So that's number 1. And then what you do is you work towards your goals. You take all 4 of those components because they're all just as important as the other one. How are those 4 components going to help you? Okay, they're going to push you forward to your goal. You're going to, while you're working towards that, if it's a physical goal, you're going to watch yourself, your mindset, and everything just like evolve. Okay. Once you hit your goal, then what you're going to do, which this is so fun. Okay. What you're going to do is then you're going to transition to what's next. Okay. So they're going to set you up with your weight loss goals, set you up on the right plan, all of that. Then you're going to transition to the next part, which is all in here. Okay. Which is so fun. So, if you're, let's say I dropped 50 pounds, right? Well, then, and that was without exercise. So then the next step, and I'm just giving you an example, the next step, my coach transitioned my nutrition. Okay. The program was great. The program my meal plan I was following was awesome, but it wasn't forever. right? You know, it was just like to help me get to my healthy weight. So then she transitioned me by teaching me about all the different food groups. We went through fruit, whole grains, dairy, more protein, more vegetables. And it was so fun because I got to learn about each food group as I added that to my day. And then at the same time, then I worked on my exercise goals. I started off with a walking program. Then I moved it up to some resistance training. Then I started getting into the gym and I just took one step at a time, which was so fun because like I said, it was doable, you know, just taking one step at a time. So your coach will help you with that. Okay. Because as I keep saying, they were always your coach. No matter where you're at on your journey, they're always your coach and they're going to move you forward. Okay. And you could set goals too, like with your family, financial goals, and so forth. So all of that being said, it's super exciting because we just got through Christmas. We're going into a new year and we have just released an amazing incentive for you. Okay. So if you're considering this, again, the price, because you may be wondering, well, what's the price of all this? How does this work? Again, it's specific for everyone. Okay. So depending on your goals, depending on what your coach lays out for you, they will give you the specific cost amount. But what's cool is that with our incentive, if you sign up to start your journey, starting today, the 26th, you get $75 off. And basically what it comes down to when it comes to the cost is your healthy groceries. Okay. Your meal plan. Okay. So whatever groceries or whatever you're consuming now, it will just swap. So we can set you up on your healthy meal plan. Those will swap for a temporary period of time. And then again, like I had mentioned, then we're going to transition you to your all-time nutrition plan that you're going to follow the rest of your life on your own. So it's cool because it takes you through those baby steps. So $75 off your first month just to get up and running, get your healthy groceries going, get that structure going. And then what's even better is that going into your second month to ensure that you keep moving forward. Awesome. Then you get over $100 off to keep moving forward with your healthy groceries. Okay. So again, your coach will go through that with you specifically, but it's I have never seen this incentive. I've been coaching for over 10 years. I've never seen this incentive in all my years of coaching. So it's an amazing incentive. I love Optavia. I love that we're trying to help everyone in every situation that we can to help them get moving with their new life. So, and I want to end it with this quote because I love it so much. It says, actually, I just woke up one day and decided I didn't want to feel like that anymore or ever again. So I changed just like that. And that connection with your coach or your friend that invited you tonight, it starts with that saying, you know what? I want a new life. I want to reach my full potential in 2023. Now is the time. I'm ready to go. You tell them that, and I promise you, your entire life will change right in front of your eyes. So that is all we have for tonight. I hope tonight inspired you. I hope it hit home for you if you're looking for that next step. Like I said, reach out to whoever invited you tonight. I am going to end the recording, but I will stick on and stick around. Some of us will stick around. If you have any questions, we'll open up the room. But again, thank you for taking time out tonight, especially the day after Christmas, if you're spending time with family. And I'm excited for each and every one of you to enjoy this new year ahead. So thank you so much.